Hello! In this video I'm going to demonstrate how we can use some of the chords that we looked at in week 3 in place of some of the more standard chords that perhaps we use. So we were given a chord sheet, and on there was some ninth chords, minor chords, ninth chords with the ninth note made sharp and so on. So a real sort of mixed bag of various chord shapes. And these are to be used in exchange of things like the minor chords, the seventh chords, the ones that we might have been playing for some time. They are a bit of a handful at first. There can also be a bit of an earful. Some of them are a bit strange sounding. But once you learn how to use them tastefully and in the right place, they can sound really cool. I'll give you an example. This here is the diminished seventh. Which sounds like, which is a bit Scooby-Doo for me. If we've got any Scooby-Doo fans. But when dropped into the right place, it can sound really, really nice. Creates a lot of kind of discord, which you can then resolve by playing the key chord, which sounds great. They're all movable, so they either take the root note from the 6th string or the 5th string, so play around with them, get them in different places. And yeah, you have a handout this week called Chord Progressions Using Chord Extensions with Tasks. It's a very catchy title. And there's an example here in B7, B major. So exercise 1 is a progression in B major. Exercise 2 is the same progression, but we've took some of those 7th chords and we've replaced them. We've jigged them around a little bit. Let me show you how this works, how this sounds. So I'm going to play a 12-bar blues, or a 1-4-5 progression in the key of B major. So that's B7, E7, back to B7, F sharp 7, E7, 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 B7, which sounds great, sounds cool, and thousands of songs written off the back of that. But if you've been playing those chords in that order for a long time, it can start to sound a little bit uninspiring, and yeah, and then it's time to turn to chord extensions. We're going to speak about what makes a chord extension when we talk about chord theory a little bit later on down the line. But for now, we just need to understand that these are chord extensions, learn how to play them, and get used to moving them around. Back to that progression. So I'm going to play that same progression, but I'm going to replace some of the 7th chords with a couple of more adventurous chords. And because we are ambitious in our aims as guitar players, I'm going to look to the stuff that we did in week 2, where we had major pentatonic scales. And I'm going to add a little pentatonic solo in the middle of this chord progression that we're about to play. So, taking some of these 7ths, replacing them with chord extensions, sticking a pentatonic melody, very, very basic melody in the middle of it. Let's see how this sounds. So we'll start on B7. So that's a 9th. Minor 7th with a flat 5th. F sharp 9. E9, diminished, then we'll have a pentatonic melody. minor 7, 7 sharp 9. And now let's finish on a pentatonic. B flat note there, so that's giving us some tension before we resolve this back on a B7. So that was a kind of ad-lib, easy-going kind of thing, I guess. And yeah, it sounded a little bit jazzy to me. Maybe a bit too much lounge jazz for my liking. But we can use these not necessarily just in the context of jazz, you can use them in all sorts of contexts, which has been demonstrated. The Beatles used to do it quite a bit, in sort of like the Abbey Road era, where they just have some, you know, diminished chords, just kind of like we played as stabs to create this tension, and then they'd go back into the more melodic stuff. And it really does work. So get used to these shapes, have a go at chord progressions using chord extensions, and start trying to add them into your playing. What I would say is, because these do feel that alien when you first start playing them, is don't try and get them all in your head in 1 week. Pick one, sit with it for a week or two, just try and play around with it, get used to it, it becomes your friend, put it in your back pocket, and then move on to the next one. And just slowly let them colour your playing and what you do so well. So enjoy playing around with us.